Hello everyone, Josh here with Unveiled, bringing you guys and gals another Madoka Exedra video, and we got some great news. So, we already made a video earlier today talking about a method that you could use to play the game on the PC. Now, that method has since had a lot of issues. A lot of people are struggling trying to make that work. A lot of crashes are happening where a lot of people have to keep swapping between mobile and back to that client on PC to try and make it work. And it's just not been a good time. So, thankfully, we now have MuMuPlayer 12 working, which is an excellent emulator, by the way. Now, this did not work before. For some reason, now it works since the game is now released in early access until tomorrow's global launch, or later today's global launch, depending on where you are. So, basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you download MuMuPlayer 12. I'll have a link in the description below, so definitely go check that out. And make sure you're on the latest version. To check to make sure you're in the latest version, click the hamburger icon at the top right, go down to settings, or I'm sorry, about Mumu, there we go, and look at your version. You should be on version 3.8.18. That is the current latest version at the recording of this video. Make sure you're on that first. So if there is an update, make sure you update, get on the latest version. Now, after you've done that, again, click the hamburger icon, click settings, go to performance, make sure you're on Vulkan mode. Now, some people have said DirectX has worked for them. It's probably more or less how your computer is set up. But for a lot of people, Vulkan seems to work best. If Vulkan doesn't work, try DirectX. Just kind of go back and forth until you get the desired results. Under performance, you have low, medium, high, and custom. You can set that up however you want. Use as much RAM as you feel that you can. I would try to use as much RAM as possible. That way the game runs as smooth as possible. And then go ahead and save your settings and get out of there. If you want, you can also use the emulator FPS settings, which are, they're down here. You can set up your frame rate. I just have it at 60. I tried at 120. I even took it all the way to 240. I think this game caps out at 30 frames per second no matter what. It might hit like 31 sometimes during a loading screen. But it looks like 30 frames per second is basically what the native frame rate is for this game. I don't think it was designed to be 60 frames per second. We might get that in the Steam release, whenever that is, hopefully soon, cross your fingers. But you can actually click display frame rate, and you don't even have to restart for doing that. You can turn that on and off, and you can actually check the frame rate as you go through and just try and tweak all these other settings until you get the highest frame rate possible so you have a better gaming experience. So that's what I'd recommend doing with MuMuPlayer 12. So you, of course, can get in here and play the game like I am right now. Now, another thing you can try too, which, funny enough, works pretty well, is go down here to your search on your Windows computer and go to Features On or Off. So go to your Windows Features and scroll all the way down. And unlike the other video, in this one, you can actually turn Windows Hypervisor and Virtual Machine off. Turn them off and then restart your computer. Just make sure your virtualization is still turned on, obviously, in your Windows BIOS if it isn't already on. But turning those off actually improved my frame rate for the game quite a bit for whatever reason. You could tweak those. You could turn them on or off. You could turn one or the other off. You can kind of just see if that really improves anything. But I did notice that there was some significant changes, especially with this particular game on MuMuPlayer 12. So if you ever need to turn those on again later or turn them off or whatever, again, play around with the settings until you get your desired results. And then, of course, you can come in here and play the game, which you can see we're doing right now. We're running pretty smooth as well. I don't want to say it's smooth as butter all the time, but considering this game wasn't designed to be played on PC right now, because they really tried hard to get us to not be able to use an emulator, the fact we are, and it's still running at least decently, I'm happy with the results. I can't really complain. It's good enough for now until we get the Steam release, which, again, I hope is going to be in 60 frames per second. So that is pretty much all I have for you guys. Hopefully this is some pretty good news to a lot of you out there that couldn't get the other thing to work properly or was experiencing a lot of issues. I feel the MuMuPlayer 12 is definitely by far the much better option. It's working much smoother, less lag, less crashes, and it's just overall much more playable in my opinion. So I am glad that this is now an option for you guys and gals. So hope y'all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, tick notifications. So it is in the Discord and description below as always. And of course, follow us on X at UnveiledGN. Until next time, as always, peace.